Okay, so now we're back with the Alaska Project North to the Future. And what I want to talk about in this video are adjustment layers. Okay, now adjustment layers are re-editable forever and a day, all right, because they're not baking the adjustment into the pixels of the file or of the layer. They're just sitting on top and telling that layer below how to actually display itself. Okay, so what I've got down here is a levels adjustment layer, and it is clipped. And I'm just going to turn the visibility icon on and off just so you can see what that is all about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw that into the garbage, and I'm going to start brand new with this guy. All right, the first thing I want to do is I want to see what values I've applied so I can actually stick with the same ones. Rather than having this memorized and everything else, I'm just kind of going to show you how you can actually go back and change things. All right, so I'm going to now come over here and double click on the adjustment layers icon. In this case, it's the histogram for the levels. Double click, and you can see that the properties panel pops up, and it tells me that I've taken my shadow slider, the black slider here, from 0 to 48. Fair enough. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that guy, and I'm going to throw that into the trash can, and you can see now that it is back to its original lightness. I want some of the stuff to go darker. I don't know how much darker I really want to have the back end of the boat, but I definitely wanted the sky and the mountains to go darker and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new levels adjustment layer. Two ways to go about doing that. One is to go under the layer menu, and you come down to new adjustment layer, and you can choose levels. And if I'm not mistaken at this point, I'll probably be given the option to name this layer. All right, so I could just leave it as levels 1, or I could call this one cruise ship. All right, I'm going to have two layers named cruise ship, but whatever. One is an adjustment layer, one's the actual pixel-based layer. So there we go. So we have that. All right, so now you can see that what has happened is a brand new adjustment layer has been created. And we have a layer mask. Like I said before, by default, adjustment layers have layer masks associated with them, so you can actually hide and show some of the things that are going on. And I'll be doing that, all right, in this video, just to show you some of the things that are going on. All right, so remember last time we took this value down to 48 from 0. So if I come in here and then just type in 48, you saw it, I saw it, everybody saw it. Not only did this layer here go darker, but so did my Sitka background layer, the base one. All right, that also got darker. If I turn the icon, layer visibility, on and off, you can see that not only did I affect one, but I affected both. And I'm not saying it's not a bad thing to see and have happen, but it's not what I wanted to. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to limit the adjustment layer's effect to only the layer immediately below. And what I need to do in order to affect only the layer below is I need to clip this adjustment to just the pixel shape on the layer below. And I'm being very specific when I talk about the pixel shape on the layer below. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip that. Now, with the adjustment layer as my currently active layer, I could clip it by going under the layer menu, and I come down here and I choose Create Clipping Mask. Now, the keyboard shortcut is Command Option G or Control Alt G on the PC. And the reason why it's a G is because they're called clipping groups right now. But in the past they were called whatever, all right? Or they were always called groups, now they're called whatever. It doesn't really matter, but that's why it's a G rather than a mask, because it used to be called a clipping group, all right? So I can do it that way, and if I do that, you'll see that the layer stuff now is somewhat indented as opposed to not being indented, and there's this little downward pointing arrow saying that this layer here is affecting only this one right below, and then you can see that this layer name has the underlying going on. If I was to turn the visibility of this layer on and off, you can see that it's only affecting that guy. All right, so now the next thing that I want to talk about is what I've got going on with this layer itself. All right, so what I need to do is I need to come over here and click on that guy, and then you can see down on the bottom of the layers panel here, I'm just going to get rid of this because it's not necessary. All right, at this point, is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to talk about the layer styles that I have associated with this, but I'm going to do that in the next movie.